We Are the Lucky Ones is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to document experiences from the luckiest fans while celebrating the finest fans. We accomplish our mission in several ways: writing show recaps, interviewing fans at shows, and hosting a podcast, giving fans many ways to share their stories. We are always accepting sponsorships and donations. If you are interested in contributing, please visit our website, www.wearetheluckyones.org, or send us an email, watlopodcast@gmail.com. Before we get started with this episode of We Are the Lucky Ones podcast, let's give a shout out to a few of our sponsors. Thank you to Simpson Yancey Law, Letter 9, and Magic and Glory. Enjoy the show. Hello, welcome to the WATLO We Are the Lucky Ones podcast. I am Dannie, and I'm very excited to bring some guests on and learn about their Reiki energy mastery. Before we begin, we're going to start with just some brief introductions, learn a little bit more about them, and then dive into the energy side of things. So, Jeffrey, you want to go next?
Thanks, Danny. Hello to all our lovely listeners out there. Thanks for checking it out. My name is Jeffrey. I am one of the founding members of the We Are the Lucky Ones organization, and just super grateful to get to be here today with two more knowledgeable guests. So excited to be here. Thanks. Jaquelin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Super grateful to be here. I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, but live on the coast of North Carolina in Morehead City. Went to the University of Alabama and went to Denver after that, but came home a couple of years ago and have seen Widespread Panic all along the way. Grew up seeing the Allman Brothers. My dad was a huge, I don't really know his role quite with them, but still close with them today, or he's left of them. And he's instilled live music. Really lucky to grow up going to the Beacon Theater, Macon, Georgia, all across the country, really seeing live music. So it was only natural that started following Widespread in college. And funny enough, Gretchen lives in Orange Beach. One of my first real shows, I think, when I decided that, all right, this is the path forward, in 2009. And that band, means so much to me. I'm so grateful that I've been able to meet beautiful people like you all. But in general, music, I think, is a part of me, from where I come from, but it's like who I am today with the music that I choose to follow. And, that's anything from Widespread Panic, but just falling in love with the live music experience has allowed me to see music all around the world. Trombone Shorty in Paris was one of my favorite experiences. Being able to see Beyonce, just all music genres are special to me, especially that live music experience. But I'm excited to speak more. Gretchen and I actually got to meet through Master Panic, a dear friend of ours, Bill Meredith, rest in peace. Wish he was here today to give his experience. But while he was going through some troubling times, he allowed his mom to get Reiki from Gretchen. And I thought it was the coolest thing. His mom, Linda, is special to me today still. But if this mother figure of my guy friend could receive Reiki, I was so curious about, what that looked like for myself. To hear this big burly Southern man talk about energy work while we were in the lot about to go into Panic, Pensacola, 2018, I believe. Amazing show. I knew that there was something special to it. I really didn't understand the quantum physics piece, but nonetheless, Gretchen walked by and her energy shook my world in the best way possible. And I had to know who she was, what energy work, what that meant, what Reiki specifically meant. And I've been on an upward spiral really ever since that experience and meeting Gretchen. But I think meeting people and getting to have life-changing, life-altering experiences is what it's really all about. So thank you to have me here today. Can't wait to talk more about music and energy healing.
Awesome.
Gretchen?
Thanks, Jaquelin. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Gretchen. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, hi, Gretchen Voss, and I grew up in Athens, Georgia. I moved there when I was 6, so I say that's where I'm from. And it's a music city, it's a music place, and that was the thing to do growing up. My first live music concert was out in a field. It was Pearl Jam, and I got dropped off by my parents and picked up by somebody else's parents. And I don't remember it. I wish I could say it was more memorable. I liked it. It didn't really draw me in necessarily. But I had a good time. I grew up as a dancer, so I'm a ballerina, and I was a dance major at UGA when I finally saw Widespread Panic for the first time. And I had tickets when I was 15. My mom let me camp out downtown for Panic Halloween in 95 in Athens. And I got tickets, but I didn't end up making it to the show, which was good because once I made it to the show, Lakewood, 97, I had left school probably, a year and a half later or whatever to follow this band. And it took me on a whole another trajectory of life, honestly, that I would not, have explored had I stayed on a more, mainstream path, if you will. So through music, I learned to grow marijuana, and that has been an amazing, life-changing experience for me. And then I got to actually be a head grower at a dispensary in downtown Colorado. I worked at that, dispensary for 13 years. It's amazing. Now I haven't had a garden for 7 years, but I had gardens for a lot of my life growing up. And, I can say thanks Widespread Panic for that, music for that live music adventure, choice of lifestyle, right? When you're young and you're 18, everybody says, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I don't want to do anything. I like to dance. Okay, I guess I'll be a dance major, and then you had to go to school. Then you still had to go to class and stuff. And I ran away. I remember literally running away from what it was called the freeform interpretive dance class. Literally. Maybe it wasn't. No, it was interpretive dance, excuse me. But I didn't go in because I was so, intimidated, wigged out. I don't know. I literally left. And many years later, come to find out that Todd, our wonderful drummer from Widespread Panic, original drummer, would call me the freeform interpretive dancer, kind of making fun of me, but, kind of funny, full circle, you can't run away from what's meant for you. So, I did the same thing in a different way. Of course, I love live music, and I've really honed in on Widespread Panic. I don't know why. I saw, many bands over the years growing up, bands, Billy Joel, the Scorpions, some really great jazz, Tori Amos when I was a teenager. Government Mule was my first indoor live music show at the Georgia Theater, and I wore platform shoes and I fell down the stairs. You have to, and you learn. I really grew up going to shows, and you learn along the way, and you do something dumb this show and you learn the next one. So, if that's the life you choose, it's a great life. You can evolve, you can meet great people. And it really taught me, to think for myself. it took me out of the box. And, quite frankly, the box kind of only gives you limited options. And some of us just don't fit in the square, So yeah, I love it. Through music, I've found energy work and so many people that I love. And yeah, and when I go, it's so healing on so many levels. And I'm super grateful for it. And I want to keep, doing it as much as I can. It's, it gets a little bit more challenging sometimes in life. But I've always made it work. So we'll see how it goes. But super great.
We're so happy to have you both here. You've both mentioned energy work, Reiki, healing. Maybe one of you can give a kind of general description of what Reiki energy healing is.
Yeah.
Gretchen, you want to take that one?
I can do it. Yes. Reiki is, Reiki literally means universal life force energy. And so as a Reiki practitioner, you are a conduit. You're a conduit for healing energy. So I'm never technically healing someone. I am keeping my energy clear. I'm staying grounded and open so that I can be that conduit for that person. And so you get attunements with Reiki. So to be a Reiki master, if you're a traditional Usui, which I think both Jaquelin and I are, you go through that's your third level of Reiki. 1, 2, and 3 is master. And with each level, you get an attunement so that your energy and your vibration is able to carry that energy. So you do a fast, you do, cleanse before, and then your master really, attunes you or opens you up to be able to channel that energy. And so as you get more developed, that energy that you channel will just get bigger and bigger, if you will. And so that's what we're doing. We are channeling life force energy either to someone specifically who's asked us to. You can only get into someone's energy field if they asked you to. Or you can do Reiki for situations. So like when I go to shows, the way I use the Reiki energy is a bit different than doing a session at home. But yeah, that's the beauty of Reiki. It works at a distance and you have to have zero tools. You don't have to have anything, just, be open. And then the person receiving just needs to be open to receiving that energy. And then, so different symbols, words, colors come through, and we're just kind of, and those are, that's information to hand to people so they can use that information to better their lives. And that's what it's all about.
That's great. So when you, and Jaquelin, you can answer this one, when you go to live music, does it kind of depend on the band or the mood that you're in, where you can kind of be that conduit of energy, or is it all the time? How do you kind of use
so I specifically practice healing for healers, and both Gretchen and I only do distance Reiki. So, and I remember when I was starting to work with Gretchen, so I received Reiki from Gretchen for several months before I actually went and got blessed and attuned myself. But while we were talking about the blessing, like, I can't wait to see you at a show and you're going to give me Reiki. And she's like, no. It's not how this is going to go down. I'm like, what do you mean? But quantum physics is real. And it's so interesting. I'm much more on the right side of the brain. Math and science was never really my thing, but things really started to click in so many different ways once I understood what quantum, energy, quantum physics is, and that, it's sacred. The healing is sacred, so that, when we are blessing someone, we're in a quiet, grounded space. And we're making sure that, our portals are clean and grounded, so that when we transfer energy, or we're conduits for others. But I like to think that, the spirit moves in all things. And there's something special about Widespread Panic specifically, that it's different. It's different than a lot. And I've seen a lot of different bands. I believe that the members of WATLO Panic are doing their own energy work. Gretchen, I know is has a different experience and does her own thing while she's there, but I think we all bring our own energy to the show, right? And I think that's why it is so magical, because not only is the band practicing their own energetic work, all of us are on this journey going through, and there's a light feeling of the crowd. I've never been to a show where I could say like the energy was not good. And that is really special. Maybe like once or twice, but it was very specific to the situation that I was in. But nonetheless, I specifically do not practice Reiki unless I'm completely sober and in a sacred space. Now, will I bless the experience and pray for good vibrations? 1000%.
That's really interesting. Gretchen, do you have a similar experience?
Well, let's see. Once I got into energy work in '08, I think. Yeah, I took it right to dancing. I don't know. They're like, you can do this to enhance anything and make it better. And so immediately, when I was seeing the band back, in the late '90s and early 2000s, I was in the back, usually on Dave's side somewhere. And my friend showed me the rail in some like '07 or something. And it changed everything for me, because there was zero distraction, no one going to the bathroom, no one singing in your face, none of that. God bless them all and every one of us. But and everyone has experiences the show in their own way. But I want to hone in on the music. I want to be able to like close my eyes and dance as hard as I can and feel it all and not have to worry about any of this external stuff. Because for me, it's that music, it just is about going within and going inwards. And then also, the collective of the energy as well. So it has that, omnipotence or whatever, omnipotence, where it goes everywhere, it goes deep within, it goes far without. And that's what we try to do with the healing work. You dig deep so that you can expand. So yeah, I took it right to the front row. I was just like, let's just conduit good energy, and I'll just like surround the band with it, surround the room with it. I use colors. Green is happy, healing color. Light blue is calming. Red is life force and energetic. So sometimes, I'll be called to just channel, if you will, different energetic vibrations through colors and surround the stage, surround the energy of the stage, or the energy of the space that we're all in with that specific color. So I use it really in that collective way. There are a few people that I've been given permission to do Reiki for as well. So I will send Reiki specific sometimes to those people.
We call Gretchen the energy dealer, just FYI.
Are those people at the shows usually?
Say that again?
Are those people that ask you for that work during the shows at the shows, or not always?
People on stage. So just, a few I've gotten permission to do Reiki for. And so if I see, you're up front, sometimes somebody will look like something's tweaking or hurting, or, everybody's working so hard, right? And so I'll just kind of take that if I see something and just send some extra energy, to that person or that whatever it might be. But yeah, or you can also use energy to, I feel like, clear the space around you too. So like if you're having that super drunk person on your, shoulder coming up, trying to talk or get through or causing problems, You want to cause as little scene as possible, right? Nobody wants this disruption. And so you can kind of hold space, avoiding that confrontation, avoiding making a scene, use energy work instead of, reacting in a negative way, which can just, infuse the situation. Close your eyes and try to go within. And I just try to, ask that person be cleared from my energy field. And you just kind of invoke your light, and get that light going, shine as bright as you can from the inside out, and try to just keep your space and keep your energy calm and envision that person leaving. And, it usually works. It usually works. There's a few occasions where people are just obstinate, but it's a good tool to have.
So since we're talking about widespread panic, are there particular songs or like parts in the show or kind of moments where you feel like it's easier or you can like channel that energy more directly, maybe a specific lyric or even a specific show you remember being able to tap in really clearly?
Gosh. Well, just the more ready I try to tap in like the whole show. I mean, I just, that's being in the zone, is just like being able to be completely present. You're dancing, so you're there in your body, but you're not really there. You feel light because you're just focusing on this energy, flowing through you, if you will. And sometimes, it's cheesy, but I'll start to hold my hands up. I don't mean to sometimes, and sometimes I do, or I'll hold them down under the rail a lot, kind of like this, where you can't see it as much. Times when the music is, more slow, obviously, that does give you a little more time to tap in than when you're like an action man or something. I'm probably not doing a whole lot of energy work doing it during an action man. So, good point. I'm probably not, doing a bunch during all the shows. Yeah, different songs could definitely evoke that, or just the feeling of the music. Just been, seeing, like so many other people, we've been, seeing this band for so long, over half my life, I've spent dancing at these shows. And so, I know the music, I feel the music, and, I just feel through it. And sometimes I feel like you want to amp up the energy. And sometimes I feel like during a jam, you want to, surround the energy and all the music with a certain color or something. So yeah, more during jams or slow songs, I would say. And, Diner, that's like hanging in the light, right? And I loved that song when I came back from not seeing them for the few years after 2002. But, those first 5 years I was seeing them, I didn't really, it must have been on a subconscious level, that song got to me about, this person being able to, give light, if that makes sense. And when I found Reiki, I was really desperate for anything. I had a house in Colorado and 4 jobs, and I was continually broke and just super frustrated. And so I laid on the ground and I started to breathe in light and breathe out. And I'd say I breathe out love, but I'd imagine the body getting filled with light and then breathing out what I didn't need anymore. And essentially, that is what Reiki is. So when I went to go, find a healing modality that I wanted to delve into, once I found Reiki, I was like, oh, this is it, because I'm already doing it. But yeah, that song gets you started to think about those properties. And that's, the music and the energy are so intertwined, and they can open us up and open our chakras. It's such a beautiful thing. So whether we realize it or not, and we'll open when we're ready, right? We're all on our own divine path.
No, I think that's the cool part, is like we all have the Reiki within us. right? We all have the power to heal ourselves. It's just being attuned when you start to give it to other people. And Reiki specifically is the energy work that can do no harm,
Yeah.
and that does not deplete energy. So I think, knowing that Reiki is specific to doing no harm, whereas, there's a lot of other energy workers out there or different modalities that don't have the same principles as Reiki. But I think it's really important, if you do go down the path, know that, you already have it in you, and you just need to be attuned to it, and then know that, Reiki is sacred in the fact that it is not dark, it is light.
And Jaquelin, do you have any specific songs or show memories or moments of moving energy?
I'm trying to think. So wild. Second night of Halloween, and I'll think of the song, but two of my friends turned around and looked, and we all looked at each other, and the energy literally hit me so strong that I got weak in my knees. And we laughed about it, and I have to think about the song because it fit perfectly. I'm look up the set list right now. It fit perfectly with exactly what was being said. We were so stunned that the song, we had thought that it was a song. The song came on, and it hit me to my knees. And I love that because that was real life force energy. And I was just so happy to be there. I hadn't planned on being there. But most of the times when I go to shows, I really try to, focus on being present, let go of the real world. And a lot of times, I won't be focusing on the specifics. It's more about the broader experience for me. I go into this, other realm and sweat out all my worries and go into this, this other place that there's nothing else that I've ever experienced, maybe other than Reiki, that can take me where live music, specifically WATLO Panic, can.
I have a good story too.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, girl.
Just correlating, I was standing next to someone I had done some energy work for, a card pull, and a song came on, and they started crying their eyes out, and they turned to me and they were like, this is what that card was about, or what, something from their session. It had all correlated with this moment, and the song came on and it hit her. And just like Jaquelin said, that moment, it made her knees buckle when it hit
slipping in the darkness.
It
literally slipped down, and it was so wild because I wasn't slipping. I did not slip. My body jolted into it was beautiful.
Yeah, but it's real. It's energy is real. It is, and we are also connected. And, and so that's why that, music, when we all get together like that, is so powerful too, because we are a collective energy in those moments of time. And we can use that, the more conscious your audience is too about, being present and sending out the love, right? Being a good person during the shows, the better that collective energy we're sending out too. So it's a powerful tool. And if, just like meditation and all those monks that meditated together, that in Washington, D.C., and the crime rate dropped during that time, that our collective energy has such great power. And I was thinking today, what if the world could just stop for a minute? What if everybody could just stop doing what they're doing and all know that everyone in that moment of time is standing completely still, all together, all at once? I think that would be really powerful.
Yeah, it is really great to think about the thousands of people that are all experiencing. I mean, that's my favorite thing about live music, is that it's this moment in time that will never happen again, exactly like that.
Right.
They'll never play that set list. They'll never play that way. There will never be that exact audience in that exact venue ever. It's this like moment in time that will never, ever be replicated. Even if you tried, it could never.
Yeah.
And so it's like to have thousands of people there experiencing it all together, being part of that, because without the audience, there wouldn't be that. Yeah, when there are definitely the shows where you can tell. I mean, I think the Cap, the most recent run, is so small that it felt like everyone there was like so dialed in. I noticed that. That's what I took away the most from that run, was how dialed in everyone really seemed. Lots of eye contact, lots of presence, lots of like, you know, sucked into what the band was doing. Where, you know, some of those more arena shows, you get the people on the outskirts or, you know, whatever. But yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things about Widespread Panic, is that they play these small venues that a lot of bands that put out that much energy couldn't fit in. So it's really special.
I love that.
And
The Capitol Theater is always special. DPAC has been special. I really feel like I don't know what these past 5 years, 6 years would be like. I mean, specifically to me, and I think to all, you know, after COVID, like it's been really amazing for all of us to be able to come together, you know, when the world is in such a wild place, and to see, you know, for all of us to sing along to a song of I'm So Glad, you know, makes me think of whenever we were talking about just, you know, a song specific, but Colonel Bruce, you know, knowing that he's like a magician, and then knowing that I feel like it's almost the magic has been passed down and it's being exuded out to everyone, and, you know, having thousands of people smiling and like experiencing joy at a level that is higher than most is super special.
absolutely. It's the best way to revolt in these times, is to be joyful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It definitely, having that joy, and that in a way it's like a magic trick of all these people going to any concert, and especially, I mean, talking about Widespread Panic, super attractive to you know, what seems like a fairly limited segment of the population. Granted, you know, not many people have been to a Widespread Panic concert. Those that have been have maybe been to quite a few for quite
Right.
some time. You know, there's various reasons people go to these shows. I find the more time passes, the more folks that I meet, that the reason that they're going to shows, spending their hard-earned money, flying across the country, doing the whole thing, has become, in a way, like a higher order of why they pursue it, you know. And I mean, what is it, if y'all were to speak to it, what do you think it what does a person bring to a Widespread Panic concert that really will open them up to it? Because I've also brought some of my best friends that I absolutely love, that are, you know, evolved people, so to speak, that are like, no, I'm good. You know, I don't need to do that ever again. Not that they had a bad time. So, I mean, what do y'all think it is that about a person that will draw them in to Widespread Panic, and also to let them evolve as all these years go by?
A vibration. I'm going to say, like, a bunch of us have probably spent time together in past life.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're all family
goosebumps
beforehand.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say about my yogi people, I spent time with them, and my Widespread Panic, like, we spent time dancing around the fire. You know, we've done this before. That's how I feel, because I just feel like, you know, to go to so many shows and live your life, you know, to go see this band and to do this over and over again, and to have so many options, either, you know, like you said, there's people that are like, oh, I'm okay. Or it's usually, if you love it, and you try to go as much as you can. Because I would think to myself, you know, there's this, I could do this or this. I would often go like, well, if the world ended tomorrow, what would you want to be doing? And I'm like, I want to see Widespread Panic, of course. I mean, that's still my mentality. Like, It's my life. I only
It's
get so
making me
much
want to
of
see a
it.
show right now.
Yeah, you dovetail on that.
But
Definitely,
you can't change someone's mind, I don't think, because I think it runs
right,
down more to vibration than we know in our
right. There's
consciousness.
an
Yeah, one of our other
unseen
guests said you
things,
either feel it in your spine or you don't. And it was like
right?
so simple, but so like
Potent.
intriguing to me that like people go to these shows and they're either like so many of our guests are like, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. Like, hands up, take my money, and that's how I felt. I saw them when I was 19 and that's how I felt. And so it's like you either feel it resonate somewhere and then you learn all about them and you learn all their songs. It's like I think a lot of us had that first experience seeing them and it's like this is it.
Right. It was 2 years before I knew any of the members' names when I first,
Right.
and I like quit school and I was going to shows like who, and the songs I didn't understand what the heck JB was saying forever, but still it was the vibration
Energy.
that got me though, kept me going. And I think for so many of us, and like Jaquelin was, saying too, to take that step away from the world and how important that is for people to do whatever it is, whatever you find that, is whatever your cult is, go get culted up in a good, happy cult and, do it. Garden, run, panic.
Could not imagine being in any other call, I'll tell you that much.
Right. I'm culted up always. I mean, I saw fish, and I was ready for Mike Gordon to just blow me away, and it just didn't happen, and I just think it's a vibration thing. They're a wonderful band, they're amazing, but just not for me. And if I'm going to spend that much time and energy, because it is work. It is work to go on the road. And, especially when they were touring a lot, like I'd leave the house for a couple weeks. So, I've never gotten to do a whole tour, but, I would go out for a good chunk of time. And it's fun and it's work and it's learning and growth, all at the same time. So it's living. That's really living, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Jaquelin, what you said, that talking about this, it's such a hallowed space, and it's such a limited amount of time that we get to be all together with our favorite bands on stage, especially Widespread Panic. And that's where all the excitement comes from and the anticipation before a show. And there's just so much energy of everyone there just on the, but I really have noticed being at especially recently, just being as aware as I can be and present as possible, how I'm attracting other folks that are on a similar path of presence at the show. Where when I
Yes.
was in my party phase, I probably attracted that more. And to be completely coherent, aware, and focused, and really trying to avoid distraction at the show has been, and it's like been a quantum growth for me at concerts. And
Yes.
when I first started going to these shows sober, I was like, the first few times, it was almost overwhelming of like, just I could sense everyone around me so much more. And I can't claim that I'm, trained in Reiki or anything, but I turned a corner after a few shows of being like, the only way I can really relate or handle some of the people around me that I wouldn't have chosen to be near is to only envelop it with like love and green light and pure, helpful, hopeful energy. And that is like, hearing y'all talk about that, it hits the nail right on the head. Is like some of these moments at shows when I've been fully distracted, I realize I can approach this in a way of just pure, basically love towards someone that I was starting to not love, maybe because of whatever I was getting annoyed by whatever they were doing. And it's incredible. That's such a lesson in life too, of like, hey, focus on the things that I want and for these people and pray for them and love them regardless. And it's so hard to do as a human being. I think being at Widespread Panic, like it teaches me that. And that is such a valuable lesson. So to hear you all talk about that is really inspiring.
I love that.
Yeah. See, you're a
Absolutely.
natural healer. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I used to
I mean,
get
it's
so
pretty cool to see
upset.
all of us evolve, right? Like
Yeah.
we're like this evolution is taking place around the world, but then to know that we have this subset of people that are also evolving. And it's interesting to see, the people that you've gone to shows with and where how they're evolving, where they're moving. And what I love is that it seems like the good people are continuously like, getting closer and always there. And, you really do attract your vibe, attracts your tribe, right? I
Yeah.
wish we could all live together in a community, and I wonder how amazing it would be.
Right. We probably do in some other dimension.
Maybe that's how we'll retire.
Well, my dreams, y'all, I have dreams all the time that I'm at Widespread Panic shows. I'm going to Widespread Panic shows. Mark and I are going. We're late. We're on a beach. We're at a resort. We're looking for the entrance. I mean, like, and then I have people like reach out to me and say, I had this dream with you, and we were doing this in this big city, and we were partying. Y'all, it's happening somewhere. We're having a good time somewhere.
I did have a business plan idea. I like wrote it up a little bit to do like a Margaritaville retirement center in like Florida, but for Widespread Panic. So it's like all Widespread Panic fans with like different levels of care. And like one of the things that happens is that they come and play twice a year. So that even as you like lose mobility, although like now they're getting older, but
Yeah.
Great. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. You work out the details later.
Yeah, like a 55 and up,
Love it. I'm in.
Yeah. This is
When
fun.
I asked you what draws these folks in, especially the ones that like make eye contact at the show, and it's like, do we know each other? Well, we're friends now. It's like when you said we knew each other in a past life, I did get like a goosebumps feeling of like happens all the time. Most frequently at shows, especially Widespread Panic, of like, wow, we really do know each other, don't we? On these levels that are
soul connection.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I got goosebumps when you said dancing around the fire, because there's been a few women especially, but some men that I'm like, meet on the dance floor, and this connection through dancing, like kind of draws us together. Woo! And then all of a sudden you're like,
chills.
Yeah, you're
me
like,
too.
Whoa, we've done this before. Like, and I've never met you. It's
that actually happened to me in Memphis, and these girls, and it was so cool the way that it happened. There ended up being this like huge space in the back, and I'm like, wait, do we know each other? Like, and all of us are like, we didn't know each other, but we knew each other 1000%.
Yeah, I think that's why friendships are made so quickly through music, or specifically in my life, traveling around the country, I stay with people that I meet at shows, and it's like, you have a 30-minute conversation with them, and then you're living in their house, and it's so normal because we're all just like that breed of people,
right, because you're vibrationally alike. Yeah. And you just we're gonna feel comfortable automatically. So it's cool that Widespread Panic formed this band so we could all find each other, right?
Thank you.
And everybody formed their, just people who stay authentic to themselves and do what their heart is calling. It's important. It's important for not only them, but for all of us too, and for the world. And when you can find your tribe, so to speak, it's a really good feeling. There's a lot of people out there struggling with identity, or, feeling supported, or all of that. So for us to be generating this love too. And I was thinking about this the other day, you go to a show, the oxytocin, the
oxytocin.
Yeah. So, we have a huge group of people, and there's a lot of love, genuine love going around in those spaces. So if you're not, high on extracurriculars, then you can really, really feel that love energy. And that in itself is amazing and can make you feel supported and can help you. Then, hopefully in turn, we all go spread it out to the world. I mean, that would be the goal, I think, to just keep it moving, keep the energy moving in that positive direction.
Well, Jen and I do so much work together. My thing is healing healers. So I'm honored to be able to do work back to her. But at the Richmond show, it was last time that I was going, I was in and out, and I could tell that Gretchen was there, even though we hadn't talked. I couldn't see her, but I felt her, and I knew that she was there, and it gave me this like sense of peace to just have that, that feeling to know. And then I checked myself at Mempho. There was a total different vibration, knowing that she wasn't there. It was very, very interesting. But I think you find your people, you're connected to them. And Gretchen does such a great job of adding this element of energy work, at the shows that we all really get blessed by having her there. And
No.
not that the show was like worse than without Gretchen, but it was funny. Like I felt this Colonel Bruce. He's like, Gretchen's not here. Like, do some work. And Up All Night came on, and I think Gretchen, you had to stay up on, like, it was really funny. Like as soon as that message came through, Up All Night came on, and you had to like stay up all night, like the night before.
Right.
Someone was sick or something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but it's the synchronicities and the messages and and I think I've heard other people that are not in our line of work, but they're like, I swear that I made this happen, or like as soon as I was thinking about this song came on. So it's super amazing to see how the spirit really does move in all things. And even if people are not aware of like their power or their energy, that there's this common golden thread of magic that happens at live music.
Yes.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And I think the when people sense that happening on a run or at a show, it's like, yes, now like take that and bring it to your normal day life. Cause it's like, if you can tap in and you can feel that synchronicity and help like feel that flow and feel that sense of relaxation, like everything works in my highest good. You meet these people that can flow so well on a run, and then they go back to their lives all high strung, and it's like, no, bring that flow to your regular everyday life because it's there. It's just a matter of tapping in.
Yeah, you choosing to step into it or not. And like the yoga, how they are, take the yoga off the mat into your real life, or else what good is it? Right. So, you can't come home people come home depressed, depleted from shows, but if you can help it, try to come home happy and grateful and spread some of that around, and, look forward to the next time that you get to go.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a crystal. Like you go to the run and you like charge up, and then you go home from the run, and then you're like, phew.
Yes.
And then hopefully 3 weeks later, you're back at the show.
Yeah. I think if you can accomplish that it would, in my imagination, make the band and the crew and the staff of the venue proud of what they've done, and that it improved someone's life. That like it, and it maybe concentric circles improve the lives of the people they interacted with post show, whether it's their own family or even a stranger on the street. So at the end of the day, as human beings, to help someone, and as Reiki practitioners, masters, you understand helping someone, you as well, Danny, as a spiritual coach, to be helpful to someone, it creates such a sense of wellness in ourselves. So, and I know being a rock star must be fun. I've never tried it. I probably never will have a chance to. But being on the stage and having everyone adore you, I mean, it's got to be a lot of fun. There's got to be a lot of rush with that. To know, like in their heart of hearts, that they've improved people's lives on a profound level, and even someone that's seen them 1,000 times or whatever, I mean, that's exaggerating, 100 times, 200 times, and still receiving this gift that can make the world a better place. I mean, what could be a better reciprocal experience between a fan and a band than that? I can't really think of one. So I'm thrilled to meet folks that are on that similar path, and it's not post-panic depression. It's just post-panic bliss, really. And
Right.
finding a way to keep that. It does take work. It does take intention. It's not an automatic thing. It's not just a shot you get in the arm.
Yeah, it's
It's
easy to be excited to go to a show and see all your friends and get away from the real world for a minute then and do some of your favorite stuff. It's very easy to be nice, likable, fun, easygoing. But like Danny was saying, and like you're saying, take that back with you and exude that same joy in your everyday existence. If your everyday existence is not as, rewarding to you as going to a show, you probably got some internal work that you need to do because, we shouldn't be depending on the show to bring us joy. We should be, like you said, running those circles. I love that, of joy and just the consistency of it. That's great.
Especially when I tell my family, hey, I'm going to a few more concerts this weekend. They're like, what? Like more concerts? Like, so this, in our minds, we know this is our spiritual path. I mean, it's not just going to a concert. It
Right.
is a spiritual experience, bottom line. So it's inspiring to end of statement.
Well, as we kind of wrap up here, I think Jaquelin and Gretchen, let's give you just one opportunity to say anything else that's on your mind or one last thing you want to share. So whoever wants to go first, jump on in.
I'll let Gretchen in with a card pull, but I just want to extend my gratitude. Gretchen, thank you for walking into my life at the time that you did. Thank you to the band for bringing us all together today and, all of the magical times that have happened and the future that lies ahead. I think it's really amazing to, go on this path together. And I'm just grateful and happy to extend my Reiki to any healers out there. Gretchen is amazing to work with as well. But
You're awesome,
Danny, Jeffrey, love to work with you guys anytime. I think the more that we can, extend Reiki to others, if you're interested in getting attuned, both Gretchen and I can attune others to Reiki so that you can perform on yourselves. Both happy to do so. But I can't wait to dance with y'all soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Jaquelin.
Yes, so blessed. And Jaquelin is an excellent Reiki practitioner. So super grateful for you and your friendship. And like Jeffrey was saying, once you help someone, it is infectious. You want to do it more. So watching people thrive, watching people really dig in deep and transform their lives, or manifest this thing that they've wanted for so long, by staying steady to the course, by doing their inner work and staying open to receiving, is the best. So I'm living an amazing life. I'm super grateful for just the music, for especially Widespread Panic. It's the lyrics, it's the meaning, it's the intention and the energy that runs through the songs, that keeps us going back. And we can definitely make the world a better place by doing something that we love. So let's all try to just, continue keeping our energy high every day, and continuing to put the love out there and continue to know that we are all connected. Truly, we are all connected. Seventh chakra. That's so funny because when I was contemplating this deck, I really did think this card might come through for this. Seventh chakra, right? I think it's Archangel Uriel. It's probably backwards on your camera, and I apologize. I don't know how to fix that yet, but let me put my glasses on and read it real quick. But yes, so our crown, right? And that makes so much sense because we are opening our crown and we are connecting, and the vibration of music. Oh shoot, yeah, my dog stole my glasses, so I'm just gonna try to read this.
You got this, Gretchen.
Y'all, my dog would have eaten my homework had I been in school. She literally,
Rosie.
She's such a
Wait, can Rosie get a cameo?
Well, she's downstairs. She's been up here a couple times. She ran out.
Is she wearing your glasses?
No, I don't think so. Seventh chakra. Oh, I'm like reading this the wrong one. Okay. Archangel, your spiritual connections, intuition, and inspiration. So that's great. The beautiful angel Uriel, also called the fire of God, wears a brilliant crystal crown vibrating with a passionate connection to the divine. She brings great power to your seventh energy center, the crown chakra. It's located right on top of your head. This card indicates an open and free-flowing channel of information and inspiration from the wonderful beings in the spirit world. This could also be a time of great intuition for you and guidance from your higher awareness. So allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen. Oh, that's perfect for music. There's more. I love that. Now is a great time to get connected. The assistance from spirit is great, and whether it's the presence of an ascended master, a powerful angel like Uriel, or just a loving friend or family member in spirit, there. Sorry, that didn't make sense. Okay, just staying connected to all those spirits, and I apologize for this. My glasses, let's see. They even open you to the Akashic records, the storehouse of all information. This connection is open now, and you will find that your own spirit and the spirits of those around you will be able to provide the answers you seek and the blessings you desire and deserve. I could have not read that, but anyway. That's what it said. But that first part, all about the connection.
Akashic records with us talking about past lives.
Yeah.
That's really
okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do a whole series on
card pulls.
Just like, yes.
Sky's the limit.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you both for joining us.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank everyone. Yay.
This has been a production of We Are the Lucky Ones, a 501c3 nonprofit organization built by fans and built for fans. Keep on keeping on, take care of each other, and we will see you at the show.